Ducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi, I'm Danny Bonaducci.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
telling all your friends The party never ends. Knockem dead. Knockem dead. Comedy show.
Throughout my career, I've met a lot of different people. This one right here used to headline Chuckles and Eastside and all these clubs. If you remember Claudia Sherman, Google her, she used to come out with a wedding dress and talk about how her wedding went all awry and this and that. She is here, when a comedian comes to see another comedian, that is the biggest honor a comedian can get. And I'm honored that you're here tonight.
I love Claudia. Claudia Sherman, back in the day, was a great stand-up comic. We used to do all the clubs around the tri-state area, Long Island, New Jersey, Connecticut, all the clubs. Governors in Levittown. It's going to be a phenomenal night at Governors in Levittown.
Hi, I'm Claudia. I'm with the Down Now.
It's called the Down and House, and she's doing a show in the Giggle Room. When are you doing that? October 5th.
Governors in Levittown. Go to govs.com for your tickets.
With the Down Now.
A lot of great comedians, a lot of laughter, good food. Governors in Levittown, get your tickets now. Govs.com.
Throughout my career.
Listen, I called you guys here because I'm very upset about what happened to our friend Joey Cola during the Knockem Dead Comedy podcast.
Hey, D, what that guy Charlie did to our friend Joey was a disgrace. I say we find this prick and knock him dead.
That's very funny, Paulie, because it was the Knockem Dead Comedy podcast. But we're not going to whack him. Joey wouldn't want that. He was very classy to the guy. Even wished him well. I got to tip my hat. Joey's old school. So what do you think?
This don't make sense, Tom. A guy calls into a podcast, never heard of the podcast, doesn't know Joey, very aggressive right off the bat. Either it's a prank, or the guy's a certified maniac. We don't know what we're dealing with here, D.
Bobby, what do you think? You ever seen anything strange during the shows?
Tom, I'm completely confused by this. I've been working with Joey Cola for years. He opens up for us. I never seen nobody have a beef with Joey after the show. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So let's talk to Tony Walker. We'll put a couple of feelers out on the street, see what we can find out. Get out there and let's get some information. We'll meet back here in a couple of days. All right, be careful. We're done here.
What's up, T?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us this morning. No matter where you're watching the show, Facebook or YouTube, please subscribe and follow and share the link and do all that social media spreading. Just spread them.
Stick it in your butt.
Spread them.
And stick it in your butt.
That's right. Stick this show in your butt. It'll be a much better show that way. If you're watching on Facebook, we appreciate it. If you'd like to join our conversation today and hear your comments read, please head on over to the YouTube feed. That is where we monitor the comments on YouTube. Appreciate it, just like Jeff Bosey did. Good morning, Jeff. Just like John Russillo did. Good morning, Tony and Andy. Good morning, John. The Knockem Dead Comedy Show, we're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club right here in Levittown. And the Port Jeff legend himself, Andy Plajanos, is here.
Port Jeff Station. I don't want to put
is there
up
a
any.
Difference?
There is. I don't want to put up any airs. Port Jeff is a village. Port Jeff Station is a hamlet. That is not part of the village.
I know, yeah. Garden City has that. No, we're Garden City Park. Massapequa Park.
We always say this is like people from Port Jeff Station. We always just say Port Jeff because people who were born and raised on Long Island will say to you, where is that?
Where is Port Jeff Station?
Yeah. And you go, Do you know where Port Jeff is? Yeah, I hang out there all the time.
Right.
All right, so you have to. How do you take the main hill down into Port? Yeah. Cross over the railroad track. Yeah. So you drive through Port Jeff Station to get to Port Jeff.
Huntington, same thing. You have to drive through Huntington Station to get to Huntington.
Ergo Station. Well, it's only if you come directly from the south. If you come from either direction, you'll be coming from Mount Sinai or East Setauket or Poquat kind of thing. But anyway.
Poquat?
Poquat. It's a small village, incorporated village that's Port Jeff Harbor.
Okay.
If it's like this, Connecticut's up there.
Yeah.
Poquat is like over here. It's like a beach. They have their own beach.
Really?
And everything. They're sort of in the... It's not Conscience Bay because Conscience Bay is over there, but it's sort of a another part of the harbor, and if you go into that, that's where Poquat is.
I've never heard of it.
It's tiny. It's tiny. The kids go to mainly, I think, 3 village schools.
Oh, okay, that I've heard of.
Yeah, John
Ruzziello, that was a great intro. Yeah, that came out pretty well. John Santo did the voices for The Sopranos. I edited it, but. Yeah, that was John Santo. I'm hoping that this Charlie thing is dying off. However, Hugh Murray and Will Sharon are coming in here on Monday, I think specifically to talk about that.
Shit, I have to wash my hair.
So we'll talk about that again on Monday.
I'm going to set my DVR. I'm going to tape it. I'm going to tape when Hugh Murray and Will Sharon are in here.
Good morning, Paula. Thanks for watching. All right. So, I want to talk about, let's see. As usual, got a bunch of stuff. But I would like to start off with talking about last night. Oh, John Ruzziello was talking to Paula. He says, "Hi, sweetie."
Damn.
Calm down, John.
Making connections up in here.
Well, Paula is John's sister-in-law.
Oh, that's not creepy at all then.
Well, it kind of is.
No, I mean the thing that I did.
Oh, well. I think
though there is a whole slice of the internet that's dedicated to that sort of relationship.
Right, well, that's I was about to say, I think most of the things you do are creepy.
Yeah, just about everything I watch is sort of based in that.
I want to talk about last night. So, we've been talking about it on here. We've been pushing it. Last night was the Stand Up for Epilepsy show with Mark David Hirschman.
For epilepsy?
Stand Up for Epilepsy, right. So they're for it. They're pushing it.
I hate these pro-cancer, pro-epilepsy
Why
benefits.
do they call it cancer?
Why is it cancer?
Doesn't come in a can.
I'll tell you what comes in a can. Hey, John.
Why do they call it multiple sclerosis? You only get it once. Good morning, sir.
Squirrel side.
Before you start your show, I want to congratulate you.
For?
Right. And, because you live in Nassau County. And today in the New York Post, they said that Nassau County is one of the safest counties to live in the country.
Really?
Yes, it's in the New York Post today.
Yeah, because there's nothing going on here.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
So
Flyover.
I was a little distorted because I lived in Suffolk County, and I thought Suffolk County, because it's less populated than Nassau County, would be a safer place to live. Then I realized Pajanos lives in Suffolk County. He looks like a terrorist. so somebody must have turned around and looked at Pajanos, looked at the podcast, or came to one of his shows and said, "This guy got to be a terrorist." So
you'll see his face in the Post someday.
That's right, Iceman. I am dangerous.
Guaranteed. I thought I saw his face in a gay porno, but then it wasn't it.
Oh, you've seen my face a lot in gay porno. I know. I can tell. You're a real fan.
Well, me?
I will send that signed swag to you.
Listen,
the dildo is actually mine. They had to do a whole molding process.
Excuse me, Andy. You have something wrong with gay porno?
No. I'm saying I'm sending you an autographed dildo that's actually my penis. So.
Really? Okay. And how small? You might as well.
Oh yeah, no, you'll be able to get it in. No problem.
Oh no, you probably put it in a ring box.
It will come with a ring. It will come with a ring.
Thank you, John.
I don't think he wanted to go down that road.
Well, who does?
The Hershey Highway.
Well,
Speaking of the Hershey Highway.
Segways.
Stand up for epilepsy.
The big show was last night here. Governors on the main stage here in Levittown. Mark, I don't know, it was weird. So Mark was pushing it, Stand Up for Epilepsy. It's a, fundraising event, putting his face on the flyer.
I put my face on that flyer, too.
Well, and meanwhile, though, it wasn't completely his... Like, it was a normal.
Oh, he was one of the
right.
was one of the charities.
One of the several
I figured because
right.
they only gave him a limited number of tickets. When they do that, like it's funny the things that the more you learn and you listen for.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody has a charity at one of the clubs and they say I have a limited number of tickets, it's like, oh, they gave
right.
them to me. I have in my possession a limited number of tickets.
Now, since we're saying that, well, let's full disclosure. Mark brought in most of the people, and it was full.
I don't doubt it.
This place was full, and I would say 3/4 of it was Mark.
Nice.
He's very good like that.
Well, he seems like he's a schmoozy.
When he's got an agenda, he makes it work. So, but I did think I thought it was his show. So, the other night when he did his podcast in here, I asked him. I said, because he's talking about, the lineup, and he, Eric Haft is going to be here. Chris Monty. He was, Tony's going to do 5 minutes. He goes, I'm going up. He was going to be a great night. So I go, and he goes, and some other great comedians. And that's when it kind of clued me in, like, oh, wouldn't he know who these comedians are?
Whoever shows up.
Right. So I go, who else and who's hosting? And that's what he said, well, that's up to James. And that's when I was like, oh, this isn't completely a Hershey show. So I get here last night. I'm hanging out. I'm talking with James. And, of course, me being me, I'm always early. I'm the first, there's like maybe 5 people in the club. And outside of the staff, I was definitely the first performer that was here. I think I got here like a little before 7. The showtime wasn't until 8. So I'm talking to James for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I walk off. I go to the bathroom. And while I'm going to the bathroom, my phone starts ringing, and it's James. I'm like, I'm not going to answer this now. So I finish my business.
Changed it to a FaceTime.
Put it down there.
Hey, how's it going, James? And he wouldn't even know. He'd think it was you.
Yeah, right.
Why do you only have one eye open there, Tony? What the hell is coming out of it?
That's gross. Don't ever show me that again.
What, are you crying?
So I go back to the club. I go, James, I'm sorry. I was in the bathroom. He goes, Anthony, why don't you host tonight? I'm like, shit. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Very
I got to
nice.
host, and this was I
brought
love
the
hosting.
list?
Yeah, it just hit me as like I think yeah. So yeah, here's the list that James wrote. So I was hosting. Mark Hirschman started the show.
Right.
Les Bayer.
Well, you started the show.
Well,
Mark
true.
Hirschman was the second comic.
Right. Les Bayer. Shivani Dave making her governor's debut.
Oh, nice.
Mike Delaquila.
Michael Delaquila. Or Mike. I don't know if he's going by Mike or Michael.
Okay.
But I feel like we're always like Michael. Like when Butera talks about him, he goes, Michael, I was talking to Michael.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm like, what, are you guys in a relationship now?
Right. Well,
Jonathan.
Mr. Delaquila may be stopping by today. I've heard about him through you. I've heard his name for quite a while. But last night was the first time I ever met him.
Funny dude.
He seems like a really nice guy, and his set was killer. So I invited him, so he might make it here today. Mary Capone. After Mary Capone was another comedian making his comedy debut. His name is Ace Wilde, which I even said on stage, like, that's like the best soap opera name I've ever heard. I'm Ace Wilde. Or like an 80s Magnum type show.
I feel
Ace
like
Wilde, detective.
It's more like the guitarist for some glam rock band.
Well,
because you have Zach Wilde,
I was just
you know
about
what
to
I'm
say,
saying?
and you have Ace Frehley.
And Ace Frehley, right? So it's like if Ace Frehley and Zach Wilde had a kid.
This kid though, Ace Wilde. In fact, Ivory Fields was here. Ivory walks right up to him and says, "Yo, what's up?" And the kid, he's just looking at him, probably scared because Ivory's 6 foot and black.
Oh.
So the kid's just kind of, and Ivory even says, "We've performed together before. You don't even recognize me." This kid has played the Stand in New York City. He's played several clubs in New York City. Just a few weeks ago, he played the Apollo.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, this kid went up. He was fantastic.
Awesome.
He was great.
Cool,
14
cool.
years old. His very first joke was talking about.
So I'm balls deep. Yeah.
Well, kind of. He
Oh.
starts talking about how because he's 14, the hormones are kicking in, and he sits in class and just talking about science gives him a boner. And then the teacher gives him, like, it was all these boner jokes. The audience, like, they were shocked.
Nice.
This kid killed
Go
it.
with what you know. That's what I always say.
Right. So Ivory followed him. David Hazoo played after him. Michelle Fox, Eric Haft, Chris Monty. To me, this is a killer lineup.
That's a fucking great lineup.
The crowd was electric. It was definitely one of my better sets. I changed some stuff. I wrote some new jokes. Hirschman wrote some jokes for me. And they all bombed. So I made sure to tell the audience.
Write what you know.
Mark David Hirschman wrote those jokes for me. So what I did after, now in all seriousness, Mark, he's become my friend. I've been working on this show with him for a while. Mark suffers from anxiety issues, and it's really bad. And I'm not talking smack. I'm not talking out of turn. He talks about it openly. And I'm being serious, for once. I mean, it's so bad. Like, I really do feel bad for him. He sweats. He can't concentrate. He's edgy. He's a mess.
Hilarious.
But the second he goes, as soon as he gets on stage, then he's fine, and he's completely fine after that. So we're all, in the green room. Mark, it'll be all right. You'll be fine. And he did. He went out there, and they loved him.
Don't bomb in front of all those people,
Just don't suck.
Yeah. As long as you don't suck, you'll be all right.
And he went out there, and he did. He killed. And I just wanted to support him. So when he finished, and I had to come out, I took my phone out, and I took a selfie. And the audience, they laughed when I did that. So I was like, fuck it. So after every performer, I went out and took a selfie on stage with them. So there's Mark. There's Les Bayer. And they laughed every single time I did this. And I was like, it was just one of those things you don't expect. Like, why?
Yeah, and you may as well keep doing it until they stop.
And it became, but that's the thing, I think it almost became like a callback.
It became a callback joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Which callbacks are always.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's a very pretty girl. That's Shivani Dave. She also made her governor's debut. She works in the city. She's she just a few weeks ago opened up for Levittown.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
so
cool,
she's
cool.
she's kicking ass. There's
Deer in Headlights, Delaquilla. No, I'm like, get it. What the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, seemed like a nice guy. There's Mary.
Mary. No, Mary's one of my favorite people to say.
Yeah, Mary's great. So there's
the guy that you got in trouble with.
Ace
Can't
Wild.
Go near the,
well,
the
I actually
schools
said
anymore.
that. I went up on the stage after him. I said, this kid talking about boner jokes. Like, we're not supposed to laugh at this.
Before, what that would be a good thing if you before he was booked, this show was going to be completely different. We had to get entirely different comedians.
Yeah,
just
true.
know that these are the ones that are allowed near schools.
So here's Mary. She posted that on Instagram. That was in the green room. All right, so let's see. So,
damn it, I have a joke I can't say on air.
There's Ivory. There's David.
Hey, David's a great guy. I actually,
very nice guy.
I met him in the city. I have this idea, and I've told him. Do you remember that movie with Richard Lewis, Louis Anderson, Richard Belzer, where they were Boy Scouts when they were young and they all get back together?
I don't really remember it, but I remember, I don't remember the actual movie, but I know of it. Like, I remember the
Nobody
movie
makes
being around.
movies like that anymore, which are like ensemble comedians and whatnot. I think he would be great in one of those type of movies where he's like the cool one out of the group.
Right.
Right, like the one who gets the girl and everything, and is constantly going, like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? Oh, interesting.
All right. What do we think? It says private name.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm here for this.
All right, let's see. All right, I'm here for this. Good morning.
Welcome to the Knocking Dead show.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Hi, it's Charlie. I had to call in.
Okay, good morning, Charlie.
Good morning. I just, as a comedy writer myself, do you think selfies are funny on stage? Do you think?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Okay.
And I know we had some bad blood, Joey. I'm so sorry, Joey, for what I said last time. I just wanted to call in and just really, as a comedy writer, and you guys, you're in New York, correct? New York.
Yeah, Long Island. We're on Long Island.
Connecticut, Eastern Pennsylvania.
It's a very famous. Do you know who Jerry Seinfeld is?
No, I don't. I will get to Jerry Seinfeld. Are you friends? Is Jerry Seinfeld on the show? Is that who's to your right? Is that who's to your right?
That is not Jerry Seinfeld. Your time is limited, Charlie. Get to your point.
Who is? I wanted to call. I wanted to apologize. I'm sorry, but you don't understand because I just feel the comics in the Northeast, in Connecticut, in New Hampshire, in your area, Long Island.
Okay.
You just think you're better, but the comedy really is huge in Indiana. As a writer, as a comedy writer, which you know my jokes, you know them. I do a lot of writing, and that I don't think you understand the pressures we are, and you think that being in the Northeast, you're just the center of attention.
I don't know why you're saying that. We didn't say or do anything that would allude to that. But I will say, if this is your intention of calling again today to just attack, like I said, your time is going to be very limited. I shouldn't have even taken.
Can I speak?
I shouldn't have even taken your call, Charlie. To be honest with you, you'll speak when I'm done. This is my fucking show. You'll speak when I tell you can fucking speak. We don't think we're better. We just.
And you think that's fun? That's good comedy, cursing like that? Is that how you curse in your area in the Northeast?
So long, Charlie. I'm not fucking doing this.
All right, I gotta tell you, that was Tim Thompson.
That was Tim Thompson? This whole time?
No, just that.
How do you know?
Because
he told you? Son of a bitch.
I can't have you be that upset. I'm sorry, Tim. I was laughing this whole time. But then you started getting angry, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, how do I get him to stop it? Like, you really.
That was definitely him.
That was 100% Tim Thompson.
But that sounds a lot like.
No, I know. He did a great job. Like, 100%. Like, Tim Thompson's amazing. You're right.
It's definitely not him.
No.
The whole time.
The
because
whole time.
That sounded a lot like.
Only this time. Only this call was Tim Thompson. I will go to the messages. Where is it? Hey, sweetie, how you been? As long as you're doing, I got a quick question for you. Would it be messed up if I call in as a terrible Charlie Wiener? Nothing mean, mostly making fun of.
Well, let me stop you right there. We are not going on record and saying it's definitely Charlie Wiener. We're not doing that. I just want to throw that out there. We do. His name has been thrown around. We do not know it's him, and we're not saying it definitely is. We are not accusing Charlie Wiener of anything at this time. I have to say that. I'm sorry, but
I'm so sorry. I thought that you would see through it immediately.
No, I didn't. I thought.
But then you started getting amped up, and I was like, "Oh fuck! I don't want to." Like, it was never meant to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That was fucking hilarious.
Son of a bitch.
I'm so like I feel so fucking bad, but at the same time, that was fucking hilarious.
I'm just amazed at how how good the impression is.
I thought I had a good one. That was definitely better than mine when I tried calling in when he was calling in.
You fooled me, but I was confused because Charlie was calling on the other line. So, then I can't. But I was the only one you fooled because I can't tell you how many people reached out to me immediately. That was Andy. That was Andy. Oh, okay. Hang on.
I got you, bud.
You son of a bitch bastard, you.
You've been wienered. Boom, you've been wienered.
You
dude, that's so fucking
son
funny.
of a
I am
bitch.
so sorry. I didn't mean to get you riled up like that.
I thought it was just gonna be funny. I thought he was gonna see through it.
I
studied the Indiana, Western Ohio accent.
Well, now we know what the Midwest Tim Thompson sounds like.
Yes, I listened to their great comedy, like Okra Williams. They talk about topsoil acidity, all the I'm sorry.
Flaxseed
Tony. I
like a
didn't mean to get you
motherfucker.
riled up like that.
It's totally fine, man. You got me, and I love that stuff. So it's totally
Okay.
cool. Totally cool. And I'll take the opportunity to invite you back in here whenever you can, because it's been too
All
long.
right.
And
Hey, that's
you're-
not a trap, is it?
Well, I mean, that's in your hands.
There
man.
will not be a gun.
You're like Joe Pesci walking into a basement. I don't want to.
You're suddenly like, wait, when they plant corn in the back of Governors?
What's all the cement for?
You son of a.
All right, guys. Good morning.
Yeah,
Good morning, pal.
man. That was awesome. Talk to you
Have a
soon,
good show,
baby.
guys.
All right, see you, Tim. Holy crap.
Dude, that was so fucking
That
great.
was perfect. That was perfect.
Yeah, because we only
Holy
text.
shit.
Like, I didn't know what his the take was gonna be.
Right.
I guess, and I knew, and that's why. See, I slow played this, by the way.
Yes.
Because when I came in, we talked
Yeah.
for like an hour before the fucking thing, and at one point I waited until after I had already talked for a while to be like, hey, are we taking phone calls now?
Oh, that's why. Right. Okay.
And he's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, and we kind of talked about the whole thing.
Right.
And I was just the whole time as you're talking, I'm like, oh good, I think Tim's gonna be able to. I hope it's good. Like it was great. That was fucking
It couldn't have been
perfect.
any better.
That
really.
was actually so perfect.
Yeah, Bosie said too that he was fooled. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what a great impression,
dude. That was.
Holy crap! I'm still like, I'm totally shocked. Like how good of an impression.
I'm so sorry. Like I didn't
No,
want
it's
you to get amped.
no.
like that.
Again, I'm a big fan of pranking, and I love that stuff. So.
Didn't want it to get too deep.
I just, I had to bring myself down, but now I'm just
Yeah.
like, holy shit, what a great impersonation! Like that, really, that's where I'm kind of stuck right now on that.
That was so great.
Yeah, a Fremder bought it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bosie doesn't surprise me, but yeah.
Yeah. Well done, Tim Thompson. All right, so now fuck him. I'm going to show the rest of my pictures.
Rock and roll.
All right, there's Ivory. Oh, all right, so we did right. So
Yeah,
David.
David.
Oh, so David. Towards the end of the show, Chris Monty was the headliner. So at that point, he's the last one. The show started about 5 after 8, didn't end till 10:30. So the show went on for a while, and so once Monty went on, everybody's like now going to the bar, and
Right.
So everybody left. Just in the green room was me, Davey, and this kid Ace is 14, and we're just. And, all night long we're talking to this kid Ace, and he's asking questions. Great young man. Really great young man. And, we're just talking comedy, talking shop. And we were telling him, wait till you hear this guy Eric Haft. Wait till you hear this guy Chris Monty. So everybody had left, and it's just me, Dave, and Ace listening to Chris Monty. And easily 5 minutes of no talking, just quiet while we're listening
I'm
to Monty.
surprised Ace stopped smoking weed long enough to sit there for Monty.
Well, that's kind of along the same. That's where I'm kind of going. So, 5 minutes of silence. We're just sitting there listening to Monty. All of a sudden, Dave goes to Ace. He goes, and I don't know his accent. I don't know what.
It's like I think he might be Israeli.
Okay.
But definitely
yes, that
like
makes
sort
sense.
of like Southwest Asia.
Probably
or
Israeli.
Eastern Europe.
Him and Olga are buddies.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But and I'm not going to pretend to do the accent, but just out of nowhere, after all this silence,
So it adds to everything.
Well, true.
It's a great accent.
But he looks at Ace and he goes, "So are you still a virgin?" I lost it. I was fucking crying.
Put a
Crying.
comedian with a fucking teenager, and
Right.
of course that's gonna fucking come up.
And then almost at the same time, me and Dave both like reached out to we literally put our hands out like, you don't have to answer that. We're joking. Don't feel any pressure. Don't feel like we're judging. And then the kid was laughing himself.
Oh, good.
Very great young man. We had a good time with him. All right, so after Dave was Michelle Fox, who I absolutely adore. Yeah, she's
just so fun.
She's so fun, so supportive, and just always positive.
Yeah.
She's just wonderful. Eric Haft. So Eric Haft comes up to me. He goes, "You have to." He goes, "I need a favor with my introduction." He goes, "And I hope you can do it." I'm like, "Hope I can. Of course I can do it. What do you need?" Like, I was like, kind of like downing my ability. Because I did this whole build up for Ace. I was like, so our next comedian making a Governor's debut, plays all over the city. He's been in the comedy scene for 4 years. He just played the Apollo a few weeks ago, and sure enough, you hear a few people, ooh, like that.
See, here's the rare occurrence where credits really do matter.
Right.
But making a debut,
right,
and then you give the fucking credits, and so people can go, "Oh, this is what this fucking person's doing."
And speaking of which, I texted Mary this morning. I'm going to do it here too. Say publicly, I apologize to Mary because in my intro to her, I totally screwed it up. I meant to say. The intention was to say something about just working all over New York. You've seen it in a bunch of clubs.
But it came out as she's an insufferable cunt. I don't know where it came. No,
it came. What I said was, this next performer, she gets around quite a bit.
Nice.
And as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, no.
Next comedian, total whore.
Well, sure enough. And then I tried to cover it. You've seen her all around the clubs in New York, and she's opened up for some, really big names. I was panicking, and I totally screwed up. I go off. She comes out, and sure enough, she's like, thanks for that introduction. Makes me sound like a whore. I'm like, oh, fuck.
So shoes and fitting, right? No, I'm
so I texted her this morning to apologize, and I'm apologizing here. I felt terrible about that. So anyway, so then Haft comes up to me and goes, you got to go out there and say, our next performer has been doing comedy for 3 years, and he's only 13. I go, and then everybody in the green room's like, yeah, that's great, that's great. I go, okay. And then he said to me again, because you can do that, you can really sell it. And I went, so I did it, and I went out there.
You shouldn't have asked me if you didn't think I could.
Yeah, right. I was a little so taken back. But I totally sold it, and he comes walking out with the white hair.
Yeah.
The place went nuts, and then he's so high energy. He's so great.
Yeah.
The place was going crazy.
I really do admire Eric quite a bit.
Absolutely.
He's definitely one of the... And I, to be honest, I did not know who he was before I started doing comedy, but he definitely very quickly became one of my favorite people.
And similar to Jay, like it's been nice. Like we've watched Jay, we've watched Eric Haft kind of rise up through the ranks a little bit.
Well, see, Eric Haft already sort of was established. Like he was getting
he?
booked as a headliner for bar shows when I first started, and he was featuring here a lot. And then I remember, I don't think it was his first time headlining, but I remember it being a big deal that he was at McGuire's once.
Yeah, I think that was the first headlining show.
I got to go to that. I think we had the late show afterwards, so I got to see him and just, I mean, he always has time for you. He will talk about shit and whatnot. He's just like a truly great person,
right?
And he's hilarious.
Right,
is the most important part.
I remember even before I was here, I had he had worked at White Post Farms before I was even there,
right.
But I remember him. Him and Rich Walker used to do this Abbott and Costello thing that I remember, and I had seen it. So it was nice to see. Again, like Jay, where Jay is now, and Jay got the headline a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, that's my last. We touched on it earlier. Last Saturday, my wife and my kids went up to Albany for like the overnight. So as they left at 9, by 10 o'clock, I was at Billy's house. We were getting high, and then we went to. He had to pick up from Fat Jay. We smoked like 3 more joints where Jay works. Had a great time. Witnessed Jay deal with his sister-in-law, which was funny. And then we drove out to Kelpie's, and the whole time just smoking and smoking and smoking. That's as crazy as I've ever been. But it was great to spend. I got to spend like maybe 2 or 3 hours with Jay. Me and Billy with Jay. Yeah,
Jay's great. You guys were driving?
I wasn't.
Oh. So then took a picture with the headliner Chris Monty.
I mean, I think I wasn't.
Chris Monty, again, a guy,
Nice.
I saw him a few times before I get into comedy, and he became one of my favorites. And it's, again, just really great to, now I can call this guy
Yeah.
He's a good friend. He's more than just a guy I talk to when we're here. I talk to this guy outside of the club sometimes. One of my favorites, one of my favorite comedians, and just a great guy. So it was a really good night. We had a great time. The audience was electric. and I even
boogie boogie woo.
And I even had like it was just nice. Like the comedians were telling me what a good job I was doing hosting. It was just one of those nights where like I felt like I was a part of it.
Nice.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
no.
I didn't feel like a newbie. I didn't feel like
Those
they're
are the best
watching,
nights.
you know?
Yeah.
It really it couldn't have gone much better. And thank you to Allison Persky, who she was here for Sean Brown's open mic, and she took these pictures of me. I didn't even see her in the room, and when she sent me those pictures last night, it was a pleasant surprise.
Nice.
And I even afterwards, the governors here, they like when they like the performers to stand there and greet people as they're leaving. I had several people tell me how much they enjoyed me. I was, wow. One guy came up to me and he said, "You were great." He goes, "You're exactly my kind of comedy."
Good.
And I said, "No." He goes, "You mean bad?" And he just kind of laughed. But later on,
I'm a pedophile.
no, I have
which surprised me. But
I have a
not
fetish
lot.
for one-legged people. But later on, after I left and all, kind of took the whole night in. I was like, son of a bitch, man. That was what?
No, it's just funny. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. It was just it was a really good night. So so it worked out very nicely, and it was just a great show, and they raised a good amount of money for their charities. So it was a fun night.
Nice.
So there you go.
A good time was had by all.
That's it. What else do I have here?
You have a lot.
The Hojo thing. Did I talked about it Monday, but it kind of got buried with Charlie. Did I show it again? I may have showed you guys this again. All right, so I'll skip that. All right, so I have some. So I have just three comedic pictures I wanted to show. That's not the one.
I'm glad that we are eschewing the French guy's dick knocking off the bar.
What?
We're not doing the French guy knocking the bar off with his dick because that guy's got enough free publicity. His life is all right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The pole vaulter, French pole vaulter, going for it. He went over. You did not see this?
No.
This is right up your fucking alley. Oh. The guy goes over.
Yeah.
He goes to clear it, and the bar falls off.
Okay.
And it's like, how did he hit that? When they did the slow-mo replay, his dick knocked the fucking
This
bar
is old.
off. It's like a week old. It's not even a week. Or it's about a week.
No, I've seen this before.
How long ago?
Like 2 years ago or something.
No. This happened this Olympics.
Oh, but it's happened before because I've definitely seen that before.
Maybe it's the same guy.
I did see a photo from the current Olympics of some guy on it was a bunch of guys celebrating something. I don't even know what. And the guy who won, his teammate is he's actually like, you see like his hand is right there, like he's got it.
Oh wow.
And that's the meme. Like people are like, what is going on here?
Oh, that I haven't seen.
So all right, so man,
French pole vault.
French
pole vaulter. It's already like as soon as you put French in it.
Let's see who went viral jokes about the buzz for his package.
I don't know. It took me a while to find like a good one that actually showed it. Yeah, People Magazine can suck my dick.
What? French pole vaulter in viral video offered porn deal after medal fail.
Right, because it's like it's a big dick. Like like this guy's. That's why I said like I was. Well, now we're giving him the ink, but
is that's all right, right?
Yeah, but they actually. There's slow-mo video of his penis knocking the bar off as he goes over.
I'm telling you, I've seen that before, and I'll have to go back and see
you'll
if I
have
can find it,
because
I've definitely
this
seen
is
that
like
before.
swept the nation kind of thing.
All right, I'm trying to find. All right, so Anthony Ammirati made a name for himself, 21 years old, incidental crossbar crotch clip. Cost him a shot at the podium. Got pitched a sizable payday from an adult entertainment company for a video workout minus the bar. The web he was offered $250,000. It is not known at this time if he took the job. In the meantime, he's just saying how gutted and disappointed he is that he didn't, place in his category. All right, let's see if we can.
Daily Mail will probably actually show it. Because, like, all of the rest of them are not good. Like, it took me a while to show Billy's aunt.
All right,
Tim Thompson saying, make sure to clear the search history when you leave the studio. Right, so you see the bar go down, and you're like, oh, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, but it's too far away to really tell what's happening.
This is not a good, but...
I'm hoping they're going to show a closer...
Yeah, there is the official slow, and in slow motion, shows the penis's arm come out and swipe the... like, that's how big it is. It's like there's a midget in his pants.
This is riveting entertainment right here, as me and Andy search for videos of a guy's dick.
Well, this will probably, because this is more the official.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
You've never seen that before.
Not this one. The one I've seen is from a side view, and you see it.
But that's like, I mean, good for him. He's going to have, I know he didn't medal, but Jesus Christ.
He can make $250,000. Bosie says, are you jealous? Yeah, pretty much. You could probably find his big dick video in People magazine. Wow.
Peephole. Yes.
Oh, Peephole mag. Yeah, okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Yeah.
I speak Fremder.
I don't. All right. So what do we got here?
Rusiello, the whole world is excited about this. I didn't write all those articles and take the video. Well, it's amazing. I would love to have a penis that big. Not gonna lie, and be 21 and French. He's probably getting laid left, right, and center.
Yep. All I get is comparison to Pistorius, that wife killer,
who also screams like a woman. I've told you that before, right?
He's out of jail, right?
He's been out of jail for quite some time.
Earlier this year, no?
No,
it's been longer than that?
Like 5 years ago kind of thing. This is one of those things.
Has it been
Tony and I have like all of these things where we'll talk about cultural shit, and it's like, oh, that was a couple of years ago. Yeah. It's like, nope, that was 10 years ago.
I feel like he just went to jail 5 years ago.
No. That was like the early teens.
Really?
Yeah. Pistorius. Stay signed out. 37. Where's the more thing? Here we go. Prison term. Legal troubles, prison term. Wow, this is annoying. Personal life, pop culture. Murder of Reva Steinkamp. Trial was. It was overturned in 2014, but he was convicted of murder. Culpable homicide, but it was turned to murder in 2016. 5 years of imprisonment, and then he got the 6 years, 13 total.
Right.
Released on parole after serving 8 years. So it was this year. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know what I'm probably focusing on? When they overturned the culpable homicide.
Right.
That stuck out to me, but then they convicted him of murder.
Right.
And rightly so, because he screams like a woman. Like, legitimately, his lawyer brought in an expert during the original trial,
right,
to testify that Oscar Pistorius screams like a woman, because they were trying to create like plausible deniability or reasonable doubt,
right,
about who was screaming and what they were screaming about,
right.
So,
okay, so all right, so let me show you some funny pictures. So,
you want to see some funny pictures?
Speaking of the Olympics in France. Here's a shot of some young men in France.
This looks like this is like what they do. They're all grabbing each other, right?
They're not. No. They're just standing with their hands in front of themselves. They
just see the bigger.
But it looks like they're grabbing their crotches, but they're not. They're just standing there with their arms crossed.
Because it looks like from my distance and not getting any specific like details. Because I can't see from here. It looks like they're in a, like, this is like a typical pose that they do.
No, they're just, like,
and then who's got whose dick?
They're just standing like this.
Right.
They're just standing like this, but it looks like they're holding their dicks. And that's why the caption is, they don't have bathrooms in France? Because it looks like, that's all. That's all it is.
Oh.
It's just a silly picture.
Oh.
All right, and then the next thing I have.
I guess the French dick, the huge French dick, took the air out of this one. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No,
nuts.
No, it's all French dicks today. Apparently, that's the theme of our show.
Hell yeah!
I thought this was funny. He broke up with this man today, and he asked me for one more chance. So I said okay, and then he broke up with me. I thought that was really funny. So, all right, moving on. Told my nephew to get off the game and hang up his clothes. So I thought this was genius.
Bro.
I thought that was genius.
That's like to find the X, and then they draw an arrow to at the X.
If my son did that, though, I'd probably kill him, but I still thought this
I
was
would
pretty
say fair play. And
Yeah,
move on.
right. Yep, you're right.
I would absolutely move on.
You're absolutely right.
My wife, however, would not.
Right.
That does seem like a Daphne move right there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. All right. So, let's see. So, these are notes from yesterday. I don't need that. We had a great show yesterday, by the way. Missed.
Oh.
Was it close?
It didn't hit the ground because it like nestled behind it.
Uh-huh.
Like you were maybe this far off.
Oh, really? That's
too
it?
far.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're right on line now.
What is the worst job you've ever had, Andy Plagianos?
Oh, that's tough because there's a lot of different reasons why a job can suck.
Well, true.
I will tell you the shortest job I ever had was I worked at Fuddruckers in
sure.
Selden.
I remember the
It's on
Fuddruckers.
It was on Middle Country Road, like kind of at the corner of Boyle Road and Middle Country Road, if anybody's familiar
There
with
was
the
an
area.
Nassau one, too.
And my friend worked there. I went to work. 45 minutes I was there. The first 10 minutes was sort of like this half-assed orientation because I was just going to be bussing tables, right?
You need an orientation to bus tables?
Well, no, you should, because, hey, this is where all these things are. So now I'm going through the kitchen, and right outside of a storage unit, there is this very obvious, because I'd worked in restaurants already at this point, there was like this very obvious pile of grease. Something, it spilled out of something or whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit, somebody's going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe what I did was I threw the rag that they gave me over it, and because I'm like, where's the mop? This is my first fucking day. I'm only there for a few minutes. Looking through, can't find the mop. So I go to look at the guy who talked to me at the beginning of the shift, who also was like trying to big dick me and my friend.
Again, there's the theme today.
Right. He wasn't French, though.
Oh.
But he's, so I go up to him, I'm like, hey man, just... Like I need to find where the mop. I don't know where the mop is. Why do you need the mop? And I go, because I found some grease that. Yo, well then fucking clean it up. And I'm like, that's what I'm trying.
That's why I asked you for the mop.
This is my first day.
Right.
Wouldn't literally everybody else in the universe, except for maybe Charlie Manson, on your first day, somebody comes up to you and says that, you're like, hey, this kid's a fucking go-guy. I was actually kind of like, I'm going to be scoring some major points with this motherfucker.
Right.
And he was like, go clean it up. And I'm like, this guy's not telling me where I'm leaving.
So you did?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you people.
Wow.
Like if you're going to put somebody like this.
How old were you?
It was after high school. I was probably 18. And I'm fuck off. Like and let you explain to your supervisor why. And my best friend who was working there, like I knew he would tell my story. And then I was living at his house, and I walked, and he lived kind of in the behind Boyle section of Port Jeff Station. So I walked from Selden to Port Jeff Station and to his house. So that's the shortest. The shittiest, I would say one time in the Air Force, like when I was in the 1 Squadron during a period of time in the Air Force. Because the guy I was working, there was a guy who was like equal rank to me, who was like, we just didn't get along, but he kept trying, and I kept on being like, it's okay, let's just not interact. And then one time I had to cover for him because he was on the recall list. There was a problem over the weekend. It was his program. Couldn't get a hold of him. Couldn't get a hold of our trainer. Couldn't get a hold of our supervisor. So I'm the only one on the list that they were like, they got a hold of. And they're like, we need this. It's kind of an emergency and everything. And I'm like, no problem. I'll be right in. And so I started, and then I got to figure out this guy's system and everything to order these certain parts. And I'm like, all right. I'm on the phone, and I pretty much have it all fucking tightened up when everybody walks in from my office. And they're like, oh, he goes, oh, I'll take it over from here.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, you're fucking welcome. I'm off today.
Right.
You're actually not off today. I am. Yet here I fucking am doing your job.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm done doing it.
Right, yeah.
The only thing that has to be done is we had to physically go drop off the order forms because they were for munitions. They were little parts for the ejector seat. Little explosive parts. So they keep them out in the bomb dump where it's safe.
Right, okay.
And so you have to go out there and actually physically hand them the fucking order forms. And then they deliver it. Like, you have nothing to do after that.
Right.
That's the only part.
So basically they're
So
taking
on your
credit.
way home,
Right.
you can drop these off.
Thank you.
My trainer was like, because I was like, you're fucking welcome. Like, I legit did that. And, like, it was bad. The guy who ran the office, the NCOIC, literally used to pit us against each other. Like, it was obvious. And so I actually took it to Crazy Town.
Yeah.
And they had to move me. I was still assigned to the office, but they had me go help the life support people at a different building in our squadron.
Wow. Life support.
Well, it's a shorthand. It's like the when they do eject, the kit that is in the seat, their helmets, their masks, like they took care of all of that stuff. So,
Mary Capone, I worked off of it fine. I don't offend easily. I'm just so happy you got. Oh, okay. So
yeah, no, man, that's what I'm saying.
thank you,
Mary's a fucking
Mary's cool.
gamer. So.
Okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. John Rusiel, I just saw your message. Thank you. And he says great hamburgers at Fuddruckers. Yeah, I get. Yeah,
they were. Dude, my first engagement dinner was at Fuddruckers up in Regina, Saskatchewan.
In the U.S., during sports, we slap ass. In France, we slap dicks. The worst job I ever had was in the back of a dumpster. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you loved it. That wasn't. If you're doing,
he was giving.
If you're doing what you love, it's not really a job.
How much money did you make back there? I'm assuming you ended up owing money. That's my guess. I worked at a lumberyard as a teenager. There was
you've talked about this, yes.
Yeah. I talk about this guy Jack that worked there.
That was the guy that you didn't get along, that you did pranks back and forth, and that one, or
no?
Because I know you've talked about it before. About being completely drenched for some
Oh
reason.
Yeah. I was climbing a ladder to get up to a loft, and a guy poured water on me,
and then sawdust.
Yeah. So it all sticks to you. But I literally lived across the street. My mother's block was literally across the street from the lumberyard, and we were the first house. So it was literally a 30-second walk.
So great.
So I did. I left work, went home, took a quick shower, went back to work. I mean, I was back to work in 15 minutes. I didn't even know I was gone. But, no, there was a guy there. His name was Jack, and I can't remember his last name. And if I did, I would look him up.
Yeah, Fremder, Mehoff. We get it.
Yeah, right.
Keep going.
Thank you. So this guy, he just worked there, but then at some point they made him assistant manager. This guy became the biggest.
You have talked about it. Yeah. But I mean, it's been a while.
Oh my God, I was 16,
right?
And this guy would berate me every chance and scream at the top of his lungs, making a scene where people would stop what they're doing to see what's going on.
Yeah.
This happened on a regular basis. If I had any idea what his last name was, I mean, at this point, if he's still alive, he's probably around in his 70s.
Well, I hope he's suffering. Right?
I would still smack him in the face. This went on for at least a year before he then finally moved on to other things. But, man, I would love to get my hands on it. You think you're a real big man picking on a teenager, you little fuck? Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, just think he went home every day and was like, I was yelling at Tony today.
They called me Anthony at the
Tony.
lumberyard.
Yeah, Tony, messed that up. Well, I've talked about this before. I would love to know who has masturbated while thinking about me.
Yes, yeah.
I just
with
assume
Laura.
everybody
and
does.
Laura was a part of that conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because I was working on a joke for a while. It's on the back burner now.
Yeah, because I really don't want to think about.
Can you just imagine that? Like I wonder what aspect of me is like that somebody would be like, oh, the mustache.
And who's your ultimate? Like who? Like
who
are you
do I
hoping
wish?
Yeah,
masturbated to.
Marla Schultz.
I would not be unhappy knowing that. I would be very. I would be really happy.
Oh, you know what?
that.
I haven't seen you. So last weekend, Joey played.
Yeah.
The club.
I
and
was going
Marla
to try
here.
to. I was going to try. Oh my god! I was going to try to stop by.
She did a set. Yeah. Yep.
Pretty lady. But
yeah, I love Marla.
Yeah.
Damn
it! Now I'm all melancholy.
Well, here's a list. Let's see. So,
hey Marla, you could be my pole vault bar, and I'll be a French pole vaulter, 21-year-old French pole. Do you think she'd role play?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
yeah, but
like go to jump over.
First, your penis isn't big enough. Secondly, like
yeah, but we're inside and it's not dangerous, and I can get closer.
But that's the thing. So that's what I was actually about to say. So if she's the pole, like with this guy, it just smacked the pole. So you'd just be smacking her. You wouldn't actually be. You're so weird.
Different strokes for different folks.
People are sharing the worst job they've ever had. Vet tech in training. They ended up making me help with all the euthanasia cases. At least a couple a day.
I hate Chinese kids.
Oh my god!
That's so old.
At least a couple a day. I started crying all the time and getting completely wasted every night. Had to quit after a few months. Yeah, I can get that. I worked at a fast food burger for my first job. A fast food burger place for my first job. And I got fired after a month because at the end of the day, instead of throwing away the leftover burgers, I would give them the homeless people. So, what's wrong with that? Like, instead of throwing it away.
Well, if they really wanted to eat, they would have money.
Well, true. I worked at a COVID testing site and had to test hundreds of people a day. It was a lot of stress because it was the peak of COVID. There were sneezing kids and adults in boatloads of schools, and the management was horrendous. I got COVID 3 times working at that place.
On the upside, I have a fetish for nostrils. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm getting it in there. Oh, it's so deep. This is going to be uncomfortable.
For who?
This is going to be real uncomfortable.
I worked for a third-party company that sells wireless phone service.
Tell me if the handcuffs are too tight. This is the weirdest COVID test I've ever gotten.
Well, that's like that joke.
Yeah.
The doctor's office, right?
Yeah.
It's weird to have an erection during the. Yeah, whatever.
That's my coat over on the, or my pants are over on the chair. Yes, it's all of those. Yeah.
Joey actually told that joke last week when he was here.
Those are the ones that are like the phrase I use is public domain. Those are all public domain jokes. Right. You can absolutely use them. You don't want to overuse them, but they are bridging jokes. You can use them to because listen, the people want to laugh. They're funny jokes. You can drop them. Just don't make your whole, I mean, Jackie the Joke Man being different. That's a different thing because that's using it as the act.
And with Jackie, like 98% of the jokes are jokes you either had never heard before or you haven't heard it in 20 years you forgot about.
Right.
And then there's like 2% where he's telling a meme that you saw last week. And you're like, Jackie, I know that one already.
Right. Well, but there are comedians out there that are 100% that.
All right, I got to switch gears because I
Yeah.
sent Mary the picture that I just showed you guys.
Mm. Did Mary send you some pictures?
I wish. She just wrote to me, please don't post that picture. But I'm like, and now I'm sitting there, I'm like, I already showed it to
Oh my God, you're gorgeous.
I know. I think it's a great picture of her.
Like that's totally in the spank bank now, Mary.
That'll make her feel better.
You should.
All right. Well,
I'm part French, you know.
I'm gonna ask, can I call you? And we're gonna put her on the air.
Bum, 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 bum.
Let's see if
girl.
Let's see if Mary let her call us.
I'm so in love with you.
Give me 10. Okay.
Would it? Oh, 10? It's gonna have to be twice then. That's an old joke, and you can repurpose them.
Yeah,
that's
right.
totally cool.
516-465.
Or if you can violate them in some way so that the people's expectations are in one direction and you go off in the other.
All right, so hopefully we'll be hearing from Mary Capone in a few minutes. That'll be fun. And I'll break the news to her that the show has already been seen by a bunch of people on this show.
Yeah, 11.
12.
Oh.
Well, our numbers, actually, I was just talking about it with Hirschman last night. And it is not a Charlie thing because it started before the Charlie thing. The numbers for every single show for the past pretty much July and August, our numbers are getting a lot better.
Sweet.
It definitely was enhanced with the Charlie thing last week. But
well, yeah, it's going to be interesting, and a lot of people will go back if they didn't see it live. And,
exactly.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with that. Go back and watch other episodes. Like, do that.
And that's when I'm hoping that they'll see it and be like, all right, well, what is this show normally? And they'll go back.
Well, a lot of it is topic. Like we do our topical. It's like in line with our lives and with news.
Well, and we have
like that.
Right, exactly, and it's free form and it's the conversation, and we get. I've been fortunate, even though it's a daytime show, we get a lot of great guests in here. We get a lot of great people in here, and I guess you're right. I guess Delaquil is not coming, but.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you think he still might show? With a half hour?
I don't know the guy well enough. But he's a good dude and is kind of like vibes as like a man of his word kind of thing. So,
Mickey Delaney, are you going to watch the Mariners beat down the New York Mets this weekend? Yeah, your pitching is pretty good right now, Mickey. So I think it might be a rough weekend for my Metsies. The Mets are going to win at least one game. I'll tell you. I'll say that. In fact. Here it is right here. Me and Diane, we won a bet from the exterminator here the other day. We told him that the Mets would kill the Yankees.
Yo.
We bet him $1.
Keep reinvesting that.
We did. We are. We bet him double or nothing that the Mets will make it into the postseason, into championships.
Oh, that's too far out.
Well, it's really not. It's August. I
guess so. Yeah, the Mets should be eliminated any day now. You're right.
That's my fear with Seattle. Like I'm a little.
Yeah, this will put them in a.
I'm worried
bit of a
that this will solidify this will cement the season for them. All right, so I'll finish. There's some more bad jobs. Yeah. I work for a third-party company that sells wireless phone service. The manager would drink on the job and throw tantrums in front of customers. I actually felt afraid to be with him by myself. I was then transferred to another store that needed help. The manager would not accept anything less than our top service plan. She'd have me purposely add things to make people's plans without asking. She would meddle with people's plans in order for us to make money off of it.
So this is almost like a car sales.
Yeah, right.
Kind of.
I ended up walking out of that job. So really look at your cell phone plan and make sure that they're not messing with it. All right. Working for travel insurance claims in March 2020 onwards, I would create claims for canceled flights, hotels, traveling car centers, etc. Except after COVID really hit, the companies were only offering vouchers for future use, and we cannot issue any refunds, telling people who just lost their jobs.
This is about shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Why do you have to if you have to explain that much about your job to say how shitty it is? Like, you should have gotten another job, and please shut up.
All right, well then I'll read 2 short ones. So Andy doesn't get upset.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you're responding to, like, if you have to be like, hey, in this specific situation, it really sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and especially during COVID, most jobs suck.
Right, everything sucked.
All right, well, here, this one's better. Working at a hog confinement. Hogs are about the most stubborn animals to work with, and the fumes and dust you breathe in makes you feel like you smoked 4 packs of cigarettes by the time your shift is over. Okay. Yeah, and that's
the Howard Stern played. They found this band who talks about it's a hardcore band.
No,
again far, but this time a little bit more. The where the guy gets up there and he's like, "This next song is about when I was a kid, the first job I had." Basically, the kid worked at a horse insemination farm.
Oh.
And his job was to collect the semen, and I don't know if he actually put the semen into the, but at the end of it,
his wrists must have been killing him at the end of the day.
You're either the person who has all the money and owns the horses, or you're rich and you have the money to buy the sperm, or you're like the rest of us and you jerk off horses for a living. That's the worst job ever.
Yeah. I used to have a job for a Braille skywriting company. Oh, Frunder. Working in a lumberyard explains the wood you have every Tuesday. No, the lumberyard has nothing to do with the wood I have every Tuesday. What happened there? Paula had a comment and it disappeared.
Yeah, something about her first job. She probably left out something that she wanted to say, and I get it.
What about your first? What was the worst thing what was your worst screw up on a job? Something that you did? Because I have one that's terrible.
I don't know if I've ever been in a situation where it's hard because no job have I ever had that was like. I mean, there were times that I made mistakes on the schedule that the guys would have to go in on the weekend and work. So, like, I lived with them in the dorm, and they'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go in," and it turns out blah blah blah, and I would just be like, "That sucks! Wow, those guys are really fucking you over." They must have told them at work, like they did, because they were always like, "You guys are the ones that fuck us over." I'm like, "No, we don't. We don't actually have any authority. We just like make this. We go, these are the things coming due, and we would like to do them on these days.
Right.
And we would like to fly these aircraft based on the maintenance schedule we came up with." And they would be like, but it was always our fault. They would blame us for everything. But yeah, so nothing I've ever done has really had a direct horrible impact on anybody or anything, but there's been a lot of things where my mistakes create work for other people.
I once, I've mentioned it before, I worked for Publishers Clearinghouse, and I worked in a warehouse, and I drove
in the
a truck.
check department.
Yeah, I wish. That was only up and up, by the way. At least when I worked there, that stuff was only up and up. I don't know, I have no idea, about now, what goes on now, but it's been over 30 years since I worked there. And I loved working there, by the way.
Oh.
If they paid better, I would have stayed.
Oh, wow.
It was just a fun place to work. But, I was driving a truck, and I had to make a delivery to a warehouse. It was another Publishers Clearinghouse warehouse. And I had all the truck bays, to make your deliveries were taken. So I had to wait, and I parked the truck. It was a bit of an incline, right? I was, I think, 20 years old, 19. So I parked in this incline. I put the emergency brake on. But, the truck was a stick. So, the rule of thumb is, you put the emergency brake on, but you should also put it in gear of the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I put it in first. So, and then I left it. And I went out, because I went inside to go talk to my buddies in this warehouse while I'm waiting for my turn.
Well, because normally normally that is the case.
Well, yes, true.
So your brain, that doesn't, that actually is not that much of a fuck up, but it is a fuck up. But if I was smart,
I would have put it in reverse because it's, So I didn't. I put it in first. I go inside, and I'm just hanging out. I'm talking with guys, and one of the guys comes running in. You see the panic in his face before he spoke. So we're all like, what's the matter? The truck just went down. And I'm like, I run outside. The truck went down. And thankfully, because at the end of this incline is an intersection. And it's a pretty major road. No, it wasn't Main Street, but it was a main road in Port Washington. So if it made it to the intersection, who knows? But so thankfully, as it's going down the incline, it started going this way as well. But it totaled 3 cars. 2 of them were within a year old. So I run outside, and I see the truck, and I see the 3 cars are damaged. I literally, I had no control. I literally just fell to my knees. I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
And I'm just on my knees. I'm just looking. I'm looking at it, and I'm in total shock. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I thought for sure I was gonna get fired. I don't know if this is Mary or not, but we're about to find out. Hello?
Hello, is this Tony?
Yes, who is this?
This is Donald Trump. I just wanted to call in and say you're doing a fantastic job. Great show.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir.
It's an honor to talk with you.
Yes.
That Sopranos thing you did at the beginning of the show was so well edited. It was terrific.
Well, he had a lot to work with, a lot of good stuff to work
Absolutely. I did a lot of, there was
Mr. President.
very talented people doing the voice, or talented person doing the voices for that.
I know the guy that did the voices.
Yeah.
He's a total hack, and he did a very bad job, but you put it together very nicely with the editing. I couldn't believe the editing. I said the mannerisms from the show were perfect. You did a great job.
Mr. President, which ear are you holding the phone on? Because I would think if it's, what was it, the right ear? It's not the right ear. I would think that would hurt.
Or are we on speaker?
Both of my ears are doing very well. My ear healed more quickly than any year in the history of ears.
You got like
the doctors couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe how quickly it healed.
You have Wolverine level regenerative
nice
powers.
I don't know Wolverine, but if you say so, yes, I guess so. I never met the man. I heard he's terrific.
I'm surprised. I figured you met everybody by now.
I know a lot of people.
I'm glad you liked the video, sir. We also, excuse me, earlier this week we played the video of you talking about Charlie. We played the video of you wishing Don Sill a happy birthday. We appreciate you watching the show and being a part of it.
It's first of all, millions of people around the world watch the show. It's a great show, and it gets millions and billions of people every week. And it's a great show. I love the show. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Really appreciate that very much. Did you? So the Sopranos voices. You say you know who it was. Did you pay him a decent amount of money to? I hope you took good care of him to to work so hard.
Billions of dollars I paid, even though he's a hack.
Deserves every penny.
That's
right. He deserves every penny.
Everything he got paid. Everything he got paid. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. I should pay you because you did such a great job editing the video. Your new nickname is Tremendous Tony Walker. Tremendous Tony Walker.
I'll take that. And that has it has a double meaning actually. So
that's so much better than how Mr. President used to call him One Leg Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never said that. That's a lie. The fake news. They're always trying to make me look bad. I never said that. I said he's Tremendous Tony Walker. He's a giant in the entertainment business. That's what I said.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Mr. President, if you could relay to the man who does the Sopranos voices that we'd love to have him in here sometime, whenever he's available.
If he doesn't come in, he's a loser. Because it's such a great show. And I said, you got to do the show. Tony Walker's unbelievable. He's look at the guys. He's got Andrew. Andrew's amazing. Thank you for your service, Andrew. He's doing a great job.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor.
He's a genius. He knows everything about airplanes. You show him a plane. That's a B-52G-2. He knows everything. He knows everything.
He is. He's a very smart man. I think he was actually trained to be a spy. I'm surprised. He would have been able to stop that bullet, I believe.
He would have stopped it. Well, first of all, he would have been smart enough to know you don't put an open rooftop 300 feet away. Come on.
Exactly.
You got to cover the roofs. I saw him in the line of fire with I would rather have, what's his name? I can't remember his name yet. Clint Eastwood. Even at 90, he'd be a better Secret Service agent than something. I mean, he was unbelievable. And Renee Russo, great job in that movie. She was unbelievable.
So hot.
Those were great Secret Service agents. They were unbelievable. They stopped the bullet right inside the dining room of the hotel. It was amazing.
It's true. Have you ever met Renee Russo?
I wish. She's terrific.
Yeah.
But Gary Cole in that movie was kind of stupid. I mean, Clint Eastwood came in and said, the shooter's here. Okay, give him the seating chart. You don't evacuate the room? I mean, what an idiot. Give him the seating chart. Let's hope we find him and let the president keep walking into the room. I mean, did you see the movie in the Line of Fire?
Yeah. It's been a long time. I can't believe I'm remembering as much.
Let's let him walk into the dining room where the guy, I forget his name, the crazy guy with the voice, the assassin guy. What's his name?
I cannot remember. It's such a long time ago. It wasn't Sinise, was it? It was
not Gary Sinise, the other guy.
Oh, I know.
He talks funny, very funny. Talks funny. Not Christopher Walken funny, but funny.
Oh, was it Malkovich?
John Malkovich, thank you, Tony. See, that's why he's tremendous, Tony Walker.
I know.
He remembers like this. I'm Googling off camera, and he just comes up with the name.
He's Googling on camera.
I Googled on camera, yes, and I saw John Malkovich, yes.
Johnny
He's
on the spot.
unbelievable.
What are your favorite movies there, Mr. President? What movies do you enjoy?
I love so many different kinds of movies. Well, In the Line of Fire, obviously, I've seen In the Line of Fire. Great movie.
To have
I
that
also
strong
like
of an
Top Gun.
opinion.
Did you see Top Gun Maverick?
I actually have not.
No, I did not either. No.
It's a
You
Navy
didn't
movie.
see it?
No.
It's about the Navy.
First of all, they say it's a recruiting movie for the Navy. I said, why? Maverick shot down 5 airplanes. He's still a captain. What do you have to do to become an admiral?
Good point. Good point.
It's unbelievable. You got to see the. You didn't see the movie, but you got to see the movie. Great movie. Tom Cruise, amazing guy. I miss the '80s when Tom Cruise was older than me. I mean, he's unbelievable.
And we know there are, certain types of movies that you enjoy as well. I mean, that much we know.
We all do.
Well, true. All right. Well, very nice, Mr. President.
Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy
schedule to watch and call in and all the support. It means the world to us.
Thanks, man.
I'm happy to do it. You're doing a great job. Have an awesome show. You're both terrific people. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
Peace.
You too.
Donald Trump calling in.
That's fucking awesome.
That's something. Yeah,
It's
and it's
literally
not the,
the
first
only
time he's
thing
called.
better than hearing from Mary Capone. Literally the only thing.
Let's see. Let's see. What do we got?
Well, Paula rewrote her.
Okay. Oh, I used to work at Lincoln Center. Oh, wow. I was the coat check in Candy Girl, alone at intermission. Enough said, and you were right. Oh.
There's, you know what? I'm sorry. That's a very sexy setup.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Bosie, do they not make blocks of wood and
wheel
chocks
chocks
back then?
Well, it sounds like it was a real catch-as-catch-can kind of operation. Publishers Clearinghouse and whatnot.
And I'll be honest with you, Jeff, if I remember right, because I think now, like, wheel chocks is like, I think it's the law. Like, it's like mandatory. This is how old I am. It wasn't mandatory back then to put chocks down.
And the military is always, like, safety-wise, like, about a jillion times more.
Yeah.
We didn't have wheel chocks the tires for the aircraft were chalk, like, and that's like, this is the hand signal for pull chocks.
Okay.
But it's not like every
Right.
vehicle, the bread trucks and everything did not have.
It was, that was, oh, God, that was awful. And then, but I guess I kind of lucked out. Because they brought the truck back to our building, and they were testing it. Because my boss accused me of not putting the emergency brake on. And that he thought that's why it rolled. I said, no, I'm telling you, the emergency brake was on. And then, so thankfully, they brought it back. And so my boss's boss, he grabbed some other guys, and they tested it. And sure enough, they put the emergency brake on, and it did start to roll. So I got out of trouble for that reason. But
I did leave the water on overnight. I have a water cooling tank for my machines. I did leave it on overnight. We had to get people like ServPro in to like clean up and dry the.
Oh, that sucks.
That sucked. That was that's probably the worst of that kind of ilk.
Yeah.
And then I stabbed a man.
Let's see. What else we got?
Just a lot of inline kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Some people are not happy that Donald Trump called in.
And that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So I guess we're not hearing from Mary. We only have a few minutes left. But yeah, and I guess and I guess Mike isn't coming in either. Because we only have a few minutes left.
You scumbag.
Fucking prick bastard. What do you got this weekend? Anything good?
No, it's fun. Like I had not scheduled much. It's the summer anyway. There's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
I think I have one more show, but I'm also looking forward to going to a party later this month. Not next weekend, the weekend after. Tony Landolfi's big thing.
His annual party with comedians.
And it is such a blessing to have somebody like Tony have a party like that and invite all the people that he invites. It really ends up being like it's one of my favorite things to do in the year.
I would say it's like the party for the Long Island comedy scene.
Yeah, I mean, we have
Carrie
Christmas,
has parties. Yeah, we have Christmas here.
Party here, but it's regular. Not everybody except for of course the Christmas party. The parties aren't necessarily that regular. But I think Tony. I know Tony has talked about wanting to move. Like I think he and his wife actually even bought property, and they're developing it.
Yes, they did.
So
but
it's going to be a limited amount of times.
Yeah, but I think their plan is not.
Oh yeah, no, it's down the road. It's so down the road and whatnot. But of course, it's going to pop up and it's going to be like, "What? Oh my God, what's fun?"
Yeah, true.
And we're no longer going to have what. I mean, he's the greatest. He's one of the greatest.
Oh, Tony's great. Yeah.
Because that Conversations.
Oh yes,
fantastic. And also the Conversations with Emily. I was talking about that earlier.
That was
before
great.
we went on, and definitely give yourself a fucking do yourself a favor and watch. Don's a great interviewer, and these are great people.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, yeah. Don. Yeah, I can't. Never stop saying great things about Don.
Absolutely.
His birthday week, by the way, it was his birthday the other day. There he is with his brother at Abbey Road. Yeah, and I'm
well, I'm glad you could tell that it's Abbey Road. That's not just anywhere.
Right.
I mean anywhere.
That's the corner of their street.
In like the world.
Right.
Like anywhere. Dude, because I get obsessed with this sort of thing. I need one sort of defining characteristic for where I am. Nothing.
Well, you can tell that's the crosswalk, no?
You can tell that's a crosswalk.
You can't tell that's the Abbey Road crosswalk?
No, that literally can be anywhere in the world.
Well, as the Beatle fan that I am, I'm going to disagree. But to the naked eye, yeah, maybe.
That's what I said. Like without context, shown that picture, somebody's going to be like, "Great." You know what I'm saying? They know, and that's what's important, and it's their picture for them. I don't want. I'm not shitting on somebody else's memory, but it's for the layperson being shown that picture. It's like
okay, but
there's not a signpost that says Abbey Road anywhere.
I'm not. Actually, I think there might be, but if you look at that picture, fine. Let's say you're right.
You can't even tell that's in England.
Yeah, but if you look at that and you see a crosswalk behind you, and you're now,
I'll be like, I wonder why they're standing in front of this crosswalk,
and it wouldn't be followed with your first guess wouldn't be Abbey Road.
No, it absolutely would not.
What would it be?
It would be random crosswalk. They must have some sort of private joke. Or they're which is great. Like I love pictures like that where people are doing something and it means something to them. Like that's what I would think of. It would be like, okay, that's
Abbey Road would never cross your mind.
I don't know about never, but it is not in the top 50, let's say, at all. See, that's how this is what happens. Fanatic, right? Fan is short for fanatic.
Yes,
because your brain is colored in.
Now you're just being racist.
All right. I'm trying to make a hard R joke here, but I'm not going to. Like your minder, your brainer, a brainer. No, but like everybody's experience colors their own. So your level of
stupidity,
fandom,
right,
affects the way that you look at that. And but you already also knew that was
right.
That was,
and I'm acknowledging that. But
no. But I'm saying you would go to it. I don't think your regular average layperson who is not a massive or at the level of you, do yourself an experiment. Go around to people who don't even know Don, and you go where are they?
I think I'm going to do that.
That's it. Just where are they?
Because that's where I was going. That's what I was going to say.
No, we could do science to figure this out.
If you went up to a random person who don't know Don, doesn't know Don,
don't know Don.
Don
Tony Walker. I do know Don. I'm talking about people don't know Don.
Look, picture. Where this? If you asked anybody to just name a famous crosswalk, you're telling me Abbey Road wouldn't be in the top 5?
I think most people know it.
What other famous crosswalks are there?
You got Times Square. You got the one in Japan. You got Trafalgar Square. You've got, let me think of Tiananmen Square. because I mean the guy almost getting run over by the tank.
Oh, right.
Well,
yeah, but
trying to think what else.
There's
would
a
be,
crosswalk there.
Well, it would be people would say that. I'm saying I believe that people would say that.
Okay.
Piccadilly Circus, not Trafalgar Square. I mean, Trafalgar Square is right there, but Piccadilly Circus is a famous intersection. Right in Times Square is a famous intersection.
Right.
The one in Japan that is all like crazy that you
I
see
know
in
what
like
you're
a
talking
million different pictures.
I'm still hoping Mary calls in, and I'm going to ask her that. Mary, name.
Yeah, except now she's been listening.
She's not listening.
That's true. She probably hasn't been. You people aren't even listening. But
all right. Well,
perfect time.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna. Well, I'll do all the the ending stuff, and if Mary calls, we'll talk to her. All right. So we have. Before I get into the full rundown of things, I just want to let you know that Let Them Cook, a superhero podcast, it's changing its day and time. They're now going to be on Mondays at 8. So you got Steve Squared on Mondays from 6:30 to 7:30. Let Them Cook, a superhero podcast, will now be Mondays at 8 because we have a new show starting this Tuesday.
Oh, it's cool. Every now and then it pops in my head how he talked to you that day.
Yep. Mr. Beery's.
Cool.
Steve Beery, he's going to go live every Tuesday at 7. I don't know what kind of shit show train wreck we're dealing with him.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, he's a fun dude.
He really
nuts,
is
but
like
he's
a
fun.
genuine dude.
Yeah. And he's very supportive to the Long Island arts and entertainment, and he's a good dude. So, that's this coming week. So this Monday at 8, Let Them Cook. This Tuesday at 7, Mr. Beery's. Looking forward to that. Steve's a good dude. All right. And, of course, today is Friday, so let me go back to that. Friday, so, of course, we have Don tonight, Donversations. He is talking to Greg Vaccarello, great comedian, Long Islander, who is playing Governors. I think he's at the Brokerage next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Great comedian, great guy. Don had a really good conversation with him. So that's tonight. We're toying with the idea of doing Green Room tomorrow, but we're not sure if we're going to make it happen or not. So we'll see. Fremder, if I saw that picture, I think maybe they were just smiling while they were looking for change they dropped.
Thank you, Fremder.
Come on, Fremder, you're a musician. You're telling me you wouldn't think. You're telling me Abbey Road would. I'm not saying it would be the first thing.
It would take a while.
I'm saying top 5. It makes the top 5, especially in Fremder. He's a musician.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh, that's right. You have the headphones on. You can hear me saying this.
Yes, that's right. So we'll try to get it. We're not sure if we're going to do Green Room. There's a slight possibility.
Chance of Green Room on the weekend.
Yeah, would be nice. Otherwise, we're back on Monday. Coffee with the Dog at 11. I'll be in here with Hugh Murray and Will Sharon on Monday.
Cool.
And speaking of Hugh Murray, Treading Water, Monday at 4:30. Steve Squared, Let Them Cook. Wow, a lot going on Monday.
Yeah, wow.
All right. And, of course, Governor's Comedy Clubs. Mike Keegan and Friends, Saturday, August 17th.
Nice.
No Rhyme Comedy Show with Jeff Bosey and Friends, September 14th. Murder Mystery with Knockem Dead Comedy, September 27th. A game show with Knockem Dead Comedy, September 28th. October 5th, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents the Down and Outs.
Nice.
And, of course, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents on November 2nd. Mike Picchetti and Friends. Johnny McDonald, Greg Criticos. Karen Krentz, unfortunately, not going to be in this. But Courtney Otero is going to be a part of it. Sean Kearns. And... was that a knock at the door?
That was a knock. Should I go check?
You know what? It's
or do you need to check?
No, it's
like an adult.
It's Jersey Stench. They're on today.
Oh.
Jersey Stench today at 1. I almost forgot about that. Jersey Stench today at 1.
I really wish I had forgotten about that.
So Karen Krentz is not doing the show with us November 2nd. Courtney Otero, Andrew Farella, and Sean Kearns are doing that show with us.
Oh, very cool.
But Karen Krentz is scheduled to be here with us next Friday. Yes, we'll see. Of course, we've got a murder mystery with Knockem Dead Comedy in December as well. And that is it. Go to govs.com, get the full schedule, make your reservations.
Do it.
Let's see, who's here this weekend? Is this it? Yes, this is it.
Oh, wow, I don't think I even looked yet.
Tara Canastraci is here tonight
Oh,
and
cool.
tomorrow.
She's
Governor's
really, I
Levittown.
really do like Tara Canastraci.
She's very nice, and she's a good comedian.
Yeah.
Sean Brown has a show in the Giga Room tonight with Joe Cravella and some other great comedians. Tomorrow night in the Giga Room, Chris Roach and friends. Kathy Arnold, Emily Santosis, Deb Diamore.
Billy may be stopping by for guesty. He might.
Oh,
he might
very
end up
nice.
being there. He's got a couple other shows. He's got
A good lineup.
Yeah.
Alvin Kwai is playing, I think, McGuire's. James Mattern, who was on this show like a year or so ago, he's playing the brokerage this weekend. From there, it also looks like every crosswalk the computer tells me to click on to prove I'm not a robot. You know what? Can you get? Let's ask these guys.
Captcha.
Would you mind opening the door for these guys? Let's ask them before we go off the air. They probably won't know because they're young. But
yeah, you are kind of like going into my wheelhouse. Most of the world is younger.
well, that is true. Everybody's younger than me, and still no call from Mary. But so Jersey Stench is coming on at 1:00. So I gotta skedaddle out of here. But but we're gonna ask these guys real quick. It's not them.
Well, there's nobody there right now.
Oh, okay. So they're not there. All right. So we're just gonna say goodbye so I can get ready for Jersey Stench at 1:00. Thank you, pal.
Thank you.
See you next week. If we don't see you for Green Room, enjoy your weekend. And, yeah, we'll see you Monday.